Hello, and welcome to another episode of Jeff and Angie Photography, WTF Stop. Today, we are going to go over our adventure to Svalbard Island, to a little town called Longyearbyen, and the trek that we had to take to get there. Altogether, it was a total of 7 flights. It was quite a trek, and the reason that we had 7 flights to get there is mainly because our original vessel that we were supposed to spend our 7 days on had hull damage, so we had to get rescheduled on a different boat. So we ended up leaving, I think, 10 days later, but actually in reality it was kind of a blessing in disguise because we had a bigger boat, we didn't have to sleep in bunk beds, and we also all got our own bathrooms, and we got 8 days on the boat. And last but not least, the weather was a lot better when we got there. So hang tight, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Flight 1 of 4, departing out of Corpus Christi, Texas. 2 out of our 3 bags were overweight, so we ended up having to check 4 bags. See you in Houston. Alright, so here we go. Our first flight out of Corpus Christi was delayed by 45 minutes because the Houston airport was closed due to thunderstorms. So we sat in Corpus and waited for them to reopen the airport, and once we got in the air, we had a very bumpy ride to Houston. Once we landed in Houston, we had another 45-minute wait for our gate, and meanwhile, our flight left without us. So Southwest booked us on another flight that would connect us to Atlanta through St. Louis. So that added a leg to our trip. Here's a little image here, or a little video of the thunder boomers we were driving through, or flying through. After we made it to St. Louis, we went and got us a quick bite to eat, and went to our next gate, got on our next Southwest flight. And when we were on our flight, we found out that our bags went to Washington, D.C., and we went to Atlanta. So Southwest actually pulled through and had our bags show up 5 minutes after we did, landing in Atlanta. So after making our little detour through St. Louis, we finally made it to Atlanta and got on our first class flight to London. Are you there? Welcome. Come on in. Check out my cubby for the day. This is business class. Earphones. The pillow. My blanket. And my chair turns into a bed. And I got a cubby here with a bag that I gotta open. Socks and a mask. Hand lotion. Toothpaste and a toothbrush. Alright. We also got our own TV right here. It'll tell us how fast we're going, how far from our destination, and our arrival time. Ooh, that's early. 3:10 a.m. Alright, so here we start our journey to London. First we start off with complimentary champagne. Next, our choice of dinner. which by the way was pretty amazing for being on a plane. Here's a picture of one. The soup was delicious, and that little roll, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was good. Then we landed in London at 10-something London time. We had time to stop Sticky Toffee Pudding while we waited for our gate, since they don't tell you where your gate is until 5 minutes before boarding at London Heathrow. So after we had our Sticky Toffee Pudding, we made our way to the next plane to Oslo. We had first class on this plane as well, but this was just kind of a commuter plane, so it was just regular seats. So the food on this plane was not nearly as good as the other plane that we took from Atlanta to London, but it was still nice not having a person in the center seat. So that was about a 2-hour flight, and then we landed in Oslo, and this is where we spent 2 days while waiting for the rest of our group. So after making it to Oslo, we rested up for the night, and then we decided that we were going to ride the high-speed train into City Central. But finding tickets and how to buy the tickets was a little bit of a challenge. There's our ride. After finding someone to help us with the kiosk to purchase our tickets, we got tickets, round-trip tickets, to City Central. And City Central is where they had a photography store, so naturally that's where we went first, was to the photo store. This train reached speeds of 130 miles per hour on our second day on the train. After getting off the train, we made our way over to the photo store, the Photo Norway. They had lots of cool gear in there. Then we made our way down to by the Opera House, where I put my feet in the North Sea. And these are little bungalows where the people were taking plunges. Here's the Opera House. It's kind of an interesting building. And then they had street-side entertainment. We had a guy playing the accordion. Kind of nice. And then as we walked around and explored City Central, we found some common mergansers diving for maybe crawfish. I'm not sure what they're eating in Norway, but we saw those, which were kind of entertaining. And then we saw this cute little white wagtail. He's so cute, his little tail bounces around as he walks, so his name is quite fitting for him. Then we kind of walked across the bridge, took a view out over the canal there, and Amy and I decided this was a perfect place for a selfie. After that, we then made our way over to the Central Station, which is like Grand Central Station, and inside this is a huge mall and the train station. So we made our way back to the airport, crashed for the night, and then we got on the next flight over to Tromsø. So here we are coming into the little town of Tromsø, and when we land in Tromsø, we actually have to get off the plane, take our carry-on luggage, go back through passport check, go back through security with our carry-on bags. Just like we did in Oslo, Norway, this is still Norway. After you go through security, you then walk back to the same plane, same crew, get on the plane, and then we got to continue on to Longyearbyen. And here's everybody walking back to the plane to get back on the flight to Longyearbyen. So here we have arrived at the airport, and there's a polar bear waiting for us. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you on the next video. I'll have one out for Luminar, either later today or tomorrow, and I'm working on the next video of the days that we spent in Longyearbyen. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell so you get a notification when I post my next video.